Hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome back. I am Lisa, and this is North Star Energy Healing. Today, as you know from the title, we are doing for the sign of Sagittarius the first half of 2026, January to June. I can't do all 12. It just would make too long of a video. So my guides gave me a totally different way to do this time. They wanted me to pull oracle cards for an overview of the first 6 months of the year, and then one oracle card for each month. And then when we get done with that, I'm going to do tarot live on camera for a spread for the first 6 months of the year. Please remember that this is a collective reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates and leave the rest. As always, our choices can change things. So I would say after you watch this, if you're so inclined, bookmark it and come back each month and see what I had to say, or not me, what Spirit had to say through me for that month. Okay. Sagittarius, November 22nd to December 21st. The constellation is the Archer. The tarot card that represents you is Temperance. You are a fire sign, spontaneous, adventurous. You are ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion and growth. That represents abundance, social curiosity, optimism, personal growth, philosophy, and education. For January to June, your private life and relationships are going to expand. You're going to find more joy and discoveries, more opportunities. Your reputation changes. Psychological growth. Wow. Okay, awesome. So let's see if there are any moons in Sagittarius for the first 6 months. Let me see. On May 31st is a full blue moon in Sagittarius. May 31st, full blue moon in Sagittarius. So that's the only moon in the first 6 months. So keep that in mind. May 31st could be big for you, Saggies. Okay, so some other planetary things that I looked up. I'm not an astrologer or an astronomer, but I did look up some information to give to everyone. February 20th, Neptune and Saturn will move into Aries, bringing in major events worldwide. Pluto also moves into Aquarius, bringing in innovation and independence. In May, Pluto goes retrograde, which slows everything down a bit so we can reflect on what's been happening January to April. What major events and big changes and revelations and disclosures have gone on. It gives us a chance to ruminate on that, get some introspection going on how it affected each of us. 3 days before that happens, the Chinese Year of the Fire Horse begins, February 17th, 2026. This is going to be the first time the Fire Horse has been there in the year since 1966. There have been Year of the Horse, but not Fire Horse. This brings in dynamic, intense energy, big changes, big growth for that year, February 2026 through February 2027. The horse represents independence, stamina, strength, freedom, and determination. Fire just enhances all of those characteristics. People are going to have a big desire for more freedom of expression, freedom from the 9-to-5 jobs. More people are going to start their own businesses, get into bartering, trading, goods and services to each other. More people are going to wake up to big pharma, big conglomerate, big government controls and what's been hidden from us. More people are going to begin to make their own dreams come true and live more authentically as who they are. I love that. February is going to be an explosive month for everybody worldwide because of those planetary things and that Chinese Year of the Fire Horse. You see, you have a horse in one of your months here. Okay, so for the overview of the first 6 months, you're the only sign where 2 cards came out. And we use the Enchanted Map Oracle by Colette Baron Reed for this. And I was as surprised as any that happened. It just didn't happen for any other sign. So the first one is 48, wishing well. So you see there's a woman there. She's standing, it doesn't really look like a well, but I guess it is. There is also a mask above it. It's like there are butterflies, doves, birds, plants, flowers, a big field. Okay. Desire is the sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. Remember, this is January to June 2026. Desire is the most important impulse for creating life. Now you're seeing the relationship between desire and inspiration, and the sensing that moment of truth when you feel the inception of new life. It is an aha moment when everything makes sense. Perhaps you recognize a soulmate or are conceiving a baby or an idea. The Wishing Well card awakens you to the presence of unseen forces that enable new beginnings. Divine intelligence activates the field of possibilities where new life is co-created in a magical way. Neither you nor anyone else can know how or why this happens. It just does. To that end, you can't control the process of growth. Rather, you must step aside to be a channel for higher forces and relinquish any attachment to how this new creation should appear or when. Wow. Form your intention and take action by dropping the coin into the wishing well. Then trust in spirit and prepare to be amazed. Wow, Saggies. Wow. Wishing well. Let me just hold that there with the wisdom stone. Wow. Okay, so for the first 6 months, it sounds like you're going to put your intention out there, but you're going to not be attached to the outcome. Whatever your intention is, a new business, a website, a new job, a new car, new home, whatever it is, put the intention out there, but then let it go and let the universe do its work. That's the message. The other card they gave you is number 15, a one-ring circus. And you see this gal, she's sitting on top of an elephant who's standing on top of a huge rock outcropping in the middle of the ocean. She looks pretty comfortable, right? You are capable and competent. Independence is key now as you step into your journey today. Others may not have the vision or resources that you need. Recognize that all the wisdom you've acquired along the way makes you particularly competent, capable of moving forward with assurance. Self-reliance is important. So January to June, it's important for you not to attach to other people, right? It's important for you to forge your own path, your own way, do your own thing. Another aspect to consider is creating and maintaining clear boundaries between you and another. Be discerning about your partnerships at this time. When you know who you are and have a healthy sense of where you end and others begin, you're able to enter into the best kind of relationships and will attract people who mirror back your wholeness. Interdependent relationships are always mutually supportive, stimulating, and transformative. You can achieve anything at this time, Saggies. So this is also a reminder about setting the boundaries and understanding and knowing and feeling in with your gut intuition which relationships and co-creators will meld and go with you. And it's important to set boundaries around that, right? I've told stories often about how I've had to let some friends and acquaintances go over the years because I knew that we didn't have the same, goals, aspirations. It wasn't a good match. It wasn't easy, but it was something I knew in my gut needed to be done. Okay. January. The Wind Fairy. Thoughts, words, intellectual analysis. This is a 29, which is an 11. I'm a Sagittarius, and 11 is a very important number for me. The Wind Fairy whispers that the power of thought manifests the unseen into the physical. Take time to observe your predominant thoughts. Are they positive? Do they reflect empowering concepts, or are they negative and disempowering? When you tune into how your mind is focused, you will surely see relationships between your environment and the thoughts you are thinking. So many people don't believe this, but it's true. If you think negative, destructive thoughts, that's how your life will feel. That's what will play out. So when you feel those types of thoughts coming in, you need to dispel those. The wind fairy reminds you of the power of intellect, as this is a good time to use the power of your analytical mind. Think before you act. This is not the time for impulsive action. A well thought out strategy will yield a positive result. Love it. Love it. All right. And then for February, you have number 4, the Queen. And I want to point out that Leo had the same exact card in the same exact month, February. 4 can be stability or stagnation, but this card really makes you think of stability, right? The Queen sitting there on her throne with her cup of abundance, her servants around her. She is above them. She has risen above them. Woman, fertility, feminine power, sexuality, and friendship. Fertility, beauty, female sexual energy, earthly pleasures, and friendships among women. The Queen summons you to bestow her gifts upon you so that you can revel in the beauty of life. The Queen appears to remind you of the importance of self-esteem, self-worth, and holding your head high. Now is the time to set boundaries with others with gentle authority, yet try not to be isolated from them in the process. Well, we just had a message with that One Ring Circus about boundaries. So February, that explosive volcanic month, may be the time, Saggies, that you're going to have to set boundaries, right? Let people or things or places go that no longer serve you. The Queen knows how to delegate authority when she needs to. Summon your inner queen and ask for what you need. Now, if you're a man watching, we all have masculine and feminine energy, okay? So don't be, thinking, oh, I'm a guy. Why am I listening to this? Or why did I get that card? The Queen asks whether you're having fun. Maybe you need to read a book or have a cup of cocoa, go to a spa, or make plans with your pals. Look after yourself and remember to nurture your friendships. Those that, you meld with, those friendships that lift you up, that make you feel positive. Okay. Also, if you're a guy watching and you don't go to spas, do what makes you happy with your friends, right? Poker night, a night out with your buddies, hunting, fishing, whatever it is. Do that. This card is reminding you about self-care and having a good time. Not always being a human doing, but being a human being. This card can also represent pregnancy, either as a metaphor or as a true miracle of life itself. The Queen is always a powerful omen and ally. So, yeah, February, going to be explosive. Pregnancy can be the pregnancy of an idea, the birthing of an idea, but it could also be actual pregnancy. Okay. March brings in the Cat. This is number 18, which is 9, accomplishment. Independence and healthy boundaries. Saggies, this is the third message about boundaries, so be careful about who you're aligning yourselves with, okay? The Cat reminds you of independence and to set healthy boundaries. Love with freedom. Do not look to own what you desire. For too much attachment, here that message is again about not being attached to the outcome, right? We had that in the Wishing Well card, so here it is again. The Cat lends you its power to live freely and to remember that the adventure is just beginning. Don't forget that the cat has 9 lives and always lands on its feet. It manages to get up unscathed from a fall no matter what happens. On this leg of your journey, you will emerge safe and sound. This is for March 2026. Live freely, love without unhealthy attachment, and remember that with the cat as your companion, you may fully immerse yourself in life. There will be many more lives to come. I love that. The Cat card is number 9, and the cat has 9 lives. In April, you have the King. Now, you see the Queen in February, and the King in April. The King is number 3. Threes are creation and collaboration. Man, authority, male sexual energy, things pertaining to the law and justice. The King appears to represent the powers of justice, authority, and the law. The male sexual energy. When the King appears on your path, it's time to put your house in order, complete any unresolved legal issues, and deal with issues related to fairness. The King always lets you know that something significant is yours to experience and learn from. The King requires you to take inventory of anything left undone and do it. So April is the time where you need to tie up those loose ends, make sure everything is in order, your bills, your arguments, make amends, act with authority, abolish weakness, and restore your power, okay? You're also reminded that the King is regarded in highest esteem, and within his natural authority, he acts with intelligence, integrity, and strategy. Think and analyze, and the King will bestow great gifts on you. Pay attention, for this King reminds you to take affirmative action in your life. So yeah, April is going to be the time, Saggy, for action, for getting chaos under control and in order. Checking all of your things. Are there home repairs that need to be done, right? Are there bills that need to be paid? Are there car repairs that need to be scheduled? It's all about that, like the masculine side of the physical. The Queen was more about boundaries, love, nurturing, and self-care, where the King is more about the physical stuff, the material stuff, I should say. All right. May, truth. I think Leo also got this card, but it wasn't in that month. Funny, there's Leo and Sagittarius have 2 of the same cards there. Some of the same messages. 51, which is a 6, and 6s are harmony. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Hang on a sec. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay. Get it together. May, truth, 51. Truth in word and deed is what is required of you by drawing this marker. As well as resonating with your own personal truth, it's important now to demand the same from others. In every person, there's a vibrational energy that's accessible by slowing down and searching within to inquire, is this real? Am I hearing truth from another, or is it a lie? I don't remember reading this card in Leo's reading. That's weird. Maybe it wasn't truth, or maybe it was a different something. Whoops. Am I being honest with myself and others, or am I lying to manipulate the circumstances? Remember, even a white lie will cause your light to fade. A lie takes you down into the lower vibrations of the ego world, ruled by separation and limitation, and it's seduction of the lower world and serves no one but forces of darkness. This marker reminds you to remain in the light, even if it seems like a more difficult path. Yeah, okay, so May, Saggies, could bring in a little bit of challenge for us. Truth will build a bridge across a chasm. Truth will lend a magic wand of strength and integrity. Truth is freedom. So it seems like in May we may be faced with something where we need to be honest with ourselves or someone else. Some event will happen in May that will bring about the telling of truth, even if it's hard. Somebody may be telling it to us and it may be hard to accept, or we may be telling it to someone and we have to get up the gumption to do it, right? June is the horse, my favorite animal on the planet. Number 26, which is an 8. Accepting help from another, delegating authority. The authority came in the Queen, the King, and now the horse card. The horse appears on your path to offer assistance. If you're asking a question about your life, the horse says you will indeed receive help from another to aid you on your quest. So this is June, remember. Too often, do you refuse help from others? Do you sometimes feel that although you give to others, no one helps you? Well, you don't have to walk the whole way alone. You can get help. The horse appears to remind you that assistance is for the asking. Sometimes you need to be carried to get to your destination. Trust that when the horse appears, help is yours. Remember to ask for it and remember to accept it when it's offered. Also, this is another reminder about boundaries because it says, do you sometimes feel that although you give to others, no one helps you? So it's also a reminder about boundaries. Okay, so let's recap before we go on to tarot. 48, the wishing well. This is putting your intention out there and then not focusing on the outcome, but just letting it flow, letting it be, and trusting that it will come, right? 15, the one ring circus. This one was telling them that you have everything that you need to accomplish what you want to accomplish. This is January to June. You don't have to rely on others unless you need to, right? And then the wind fairy was January. Thoughts, words, right? Bringing things into fruition, right? Thoughts become things energy. The queen energy was February. That was setting boundaries. That was that message about that. Also nurturing yourself, right? The feminine energy of being with friends and doing things that make you happy. March brought in the cat. The cat is, independence and boundaries. Boundaries came up in February and March, right? The king, that was your masculine energy of authority, delegating, right? And then May brings in that truth, giving or receiving of truth in May. And the horse, asking and receiving help, and again, setting boundaries. Wow, Saggies, quite the messages, right? January to June. Remembering that February is going to be very explosive. Be on the lookout for that. The planetary shift, the Chinese New Year of the fire horse. Okay, let's see what the tarot has. All right, Spirit. What is the tarot message for my beautiful Saggies right now for January to June? How is it looking? And remember, everybody, your choices along the way can change things. That's what, some people say, this reader said this or that and it didn't happen. Well, if you make a different choice based on what you hear, and a lot of times my readings do have red flags, right? So if you have a red flag and you ignore it, or then the outcome will probably be what was said. If you have a red flag and you say, well, maybe I shouldn't align myself with that person, or maybe I should do this, you're changing the outcome, right? So you could have a reading one day, make a different choice, go back 3 days later and have a completely different reading. And that's what some people sometimes don't understand, because the whole point of being in Earth School is that we have free will. 3 sets of cards came out 2 at a time. And you got 2 cards in the wishing well. So I don't know. The first card came out, then 2 cards came out, then 2 cards came out, then 2 cards came out. So choice and balance, my Saggies. All right, we'll look at the bonus card after, but let's see what cards came out for the tarot portion. The first card is the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is pure happiness. This is the happiness joy card. Look at it. Rainbow, beautiful home, full cups, embrace, children, bridge over the water. 10s are completion and new beginnings. Cups are love, nurturing, and emotion. This is emotional happiness. So the first 6 months, you're going to be feeling really happy. You're going to be feeling complete and open for something new to come in emotionally. Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups in other decks is also seeing things in a different perspective, right? But this cup is overflowing and it's coming out of nowhere. Love, nurturing, emotion, happiness, good feelings. Then you have Temperance. This is you. This is your card, Saggies. This is card number 14, which is 5, which is change. She sits by the well, right? And you had wishing well. Here's your second well. There you go. And we just talked about how the twos and twos and twos were coming out. And this is the card of perfect balance. Balance between the physical and the metaphysical. Balance between work and play. And you already had a message about nurturing yourself and having joy and having fun, right? I love it. I love it when a card that represents the sign comes out while I'm doing the reading for that sign. Then you have the universe. This is the world card. 21, creation and collaboration. Wow. You see her wispy self there, right, blending in. She is perfectly comfortable with the universe, in the universe, with herself, with everything that has happened. The world card is total completion of an entire cycle, where 10 is a smaller cycle and then starting something new. The world is getting to that goal, that achievement, that thing that you have been working so hard toward. Wow. So January to June, yeah, big success. The Wheel of Fortune. This can also be known as a Sagittarius card. This is 10. So another 10, completing a cycle, beginning a brand new cycle. Wheel of Fortune. Things are turning in your favor. I don't always say it that way, but this card really depicts the turning of the wheel being a happy thing, a joyful thing, a positive thing. And then you have the Hanging Man. This is number 12, another 3, creation and collaboration. 10s and 3s, very prominent in your reading, as well as 2s, the balance and choice of it all. This is telling you to be comfortable in your own skin and maybe to see things from a different perspective. I love that. I'm kind of blown away by all these cards coming out. Be who you are and don't be ashamed of it. So, I mean, wow. 2 cards representing the sign of Sagittarius, Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune. The 10 of Cups, the universe, the Ace of Cups. I mean, what else can you say? Your bonus card was the Ace of Wands. This is an offer that comes in fast and furious, passionate. You know, action, passion, coming out of nowhere, some new opportunity. So you have the Ace of Cups, love, emotion, different perspective. The Ace of Wands, action, passion, new opportunity there. You have Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune, 2 cards that represent Sagittarius. Perfect balance and moving forward, success, right? Then you have the universe and the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups, complete happiness, the universe, getting to that goal, right? And you have being comfortable in your own skin. Wow, Saggies. I mean, what more could you ask for in a tarot message? January to June 2026 is going to bring in so much for you. Just believe it, right? Believe it, believe it, believe it. You have everything you need. Put your intention out there and let it happen, right? New opportunities. Wow. I hope this has helped. It was a lot of fun for me to do. Year of the Fire Horse, and you have the horse. Double, double, doubles all through this. 2, 2, 2. Balance and choice. Peace and kindness every single day. I love you all.